I think he should have a faction. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan debuting as acolytes.
To be fair, he could have fucking rehashed that idea as well.
True.
Like, and it still would have worked. The only difference is that, like, you would have younger. Look, let's be fair to say, like, you would have had younger, more talented people to play the roles. And who knows where that could have gone.
Probably we had some sort of series in the channel where we could work through a wrestling hypothetical of like a new Ministry of Darkness.
But am I correct in saying that was actually suggested at one point? That the Ascension were being punished? The original Ascension. That was kind of a thing they were going to do.
That was on the cards potentially, yes.
That could be a very interesting one.
There you go. You get the notebook out, Jamie.
For our main event, I'm giving him the chance to prove himself against you, Benoit. One-on-one.
Question is though, is it a free form?
That involved the three of you. Holla, holla, holla.
Triple threat match.
Since when has Teddy Long done triple threat matches?
Mountain Dew. I'll take a crab juice.
Is this a crab juice lights out match?
No.
Okay.
Mountain Dew. Because we're sponsored by them.
I do like that is the last thing we've seen of Bray Wyatt as of this recording, because apparently, like, you know, is Mountain Dew not giving the money back, like.
Here, he did a couple of 12-second segments on Smackdown the weeks after. Said he was going to challenge the winner of the fucking Brock Lashley match. Then came out and did the Muscle Man dance, and that was it.
That was it. That's what killed him.
I do like though that it's like everyone collectively realized Firefly Funhouse shit was awful.
Yeah, but I think it's also like because it was so jarringly different. I think we're just like we've perhaps been starved of like the same content over and over again. So when something like significant actually just appear on screen, just having it be different is interesting. Like whether it's good or not, I think is secondary. It's interesting. It's different. You know, kind of way. Like, you know, but honestly, I think that's half the battle sometimes. It's just like to stand out from the rest of the content, you know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest fan of Bray Wyatt stuff whatsoever. I think he is, as a creative individual and as a character, I think he's significantly overrated. But I think he's also very guilty of over-complicating what could be quite simple.
Yep.
Compare the character as he was in, say, Developmental, where he was Waylon Mercy for all intents and purposes, and kind of drove that to its natural conclusion and tried to take it to different places. And well, yeah, WWE dropped the ball in certain aspects of it, but the character just got overly complicated and complex for no reason. Where you don't need those layers of depth and personality, especially when like you're trying to do storylines that are going to immediately contradict each other the more you do this. You know, there's a reason.
I still maintain that this run of Bray Wyatt could have been fucking amazing. If in the build to Mania, you have Howdy turn on Bray, take the fucking mask off, reveal himself to be Bo Dallas, and fucking play up the fact that it's his brother. Play a mind game with his slightly crazy brother.
But that's how I figured it was going to go, because I think everyone knew that like Howdy was Bo Dallas, or at least was intended to be Bo Dallas. And let's be delicate here, like the Bo Dallas character isn't as strong, such a strong draw that you couldn't just repurpose him as Mike Rotundo, or Duke. I can't remember his actual real name. But the point notwithstanding is that, like, yeah, well, whichever you can go Bo Wyatt or whichever, you can repurpose him whichever way you want to. But point notwithstanding is that, like, that's, I think everyone kind of knew that's where it was going. Just the difference was it just wasn't going that fast. And that's a bugbear of mine is when a storyline is going on too long, because length is not always a sign of quality. Length is a sign of, like, if you have actual good progression and there's something happening every week, absolutely, that's good. But when you have the same thing happening every week, that's not good. Which is actually my main criticism of the Bloodline storyline. It's great, like, as chapters from pay-per-view to pay-per-view, but what's happening every week is the same fucking segment where they're having a fucking house meeting and they're trying to sort out their own bullshit. You're literally having that every week, and they take a minute from that each time for a promo. That could all be crystallized in 1 week, in one promo. Is my argument. Now, they've done this all the time. They did this with the Authority for years, having Raw open for 20 minutes per fucking episode. But like that's a bugbear of mine personally, is because, like, okay, you actually don't have anything here for this. You only have a framing device, and that's all you can use. So that when you get to a checkpoint on the storyline, that's when it's actually significant. You know.
Broadly speaking, I think the Bloodline thing has been fucking wonderful.
It has been tremendous, yeah.
Bray Wyatt came back last September. Didn't have his first match till January.
But that's also my argument, is that, like, that is just too long. Like, you're stretching out something there that's just not completely necessary. Now, again, I can understand that there's mitigating circumstances here, because, I mean, like, you can understand Roman working less because the man is in remission. So, like, he's not going to be working that much. He's not going to be working week in, week out. And so putting him in tags and trios and quadruples is absolutely perfectly logical.
Honestly, not having him around has made him feel like a bigger deal.
It's a lesser treatment. Like, you don't saturate him with it, whatever. You don't have him in the ring all the time. Again, the best way to treat him as a bigger draw is that you have him on less, because in kayfabe, might have to pay him extra to have him on the show. You know, that's entirely possible. With Bray, if you're trying to, like, say if there was, like, an underlying health condition or whatever it is, like, you can do promos and segments and squashes and all sorts of things to cover it and hide it. Again, the magic of TV and wrestling. The smart booking, exactly. But what was very evident is that, like, they kind of didn't know where to go with the story, or if they did, there was way too many steps in between when you could just skip 3, skip 4, skip 5, and there's your first match. You know.
I do think it's hilarious that during Bray Wyatt's last run, he very famously, anyone who feuded with him came off worse for having been in the feud.
Yeah.
Whereas the only feud he managed to have this time, he created a fucking megastar.
Yeah.
Although LA Knight did it in spite of that match. But
I was about to say, I think regardless, like Knight was going to take off anyway, because the guy is just a charisma fucking supernova. Like, you could give the man shit and he'll still make it work. I mean, Jesus, like the Max Dupree stuff. Like,
yeah.
Like, how did he make that work? You know, like that would be a death knell to anyone else. You know.
And often has been.
It has, yeah. Again, it says more about the two lads that are in the gimmick at the moment, that they are just, like, embracing how terrible it is and just make it comically bad. You know,
so fun. Like, it comes across as fun, even though it's a dead end. Like, it can be a dead end gimmick. But my God, like, I'm always entertained by them.
A perfect example of that is 3MB. Like, that's a dead end gimmick, and, like, the three lads have said, "Look, we're all having a terrible time here. This is a terrible gimmick. We're all getting sacked in a few months. Let's all just rip the piss," and that started getting them over.
That said, Drew leaving and coming back was definitely the best move for his career.
100%, yes,
absolutely.
I just want to point out, by the way, that we literally won that match by bashing Chris Benoit's head into an exposed turnbuckle multiple times.
Nothing bad can come of that.
No.
I hope there's no repercussions from this.
This is like, at which point do you think if it just becomes uncomfortable to watch? Because he got busted open in the last match, and they literally were just
2007.
Oh, we got time then in that case. Oh god. And there we have it. Our triple threat is official for No Mercy.
No mercy. I do find that, like, you know, these games were fun. I find that the current crop of WWE games are just too cumbersome. Like, there's too much choice of what you can do to be creative in it. In terms of like create a superstar and all that. And I find that that's more appealing to me. Like just fucking about and creating a superstar. Or trying to if I have to do a full on like create a superstar and then create a moveset, that's half a day.
Yeah.
There's so much there.
There's default ones you can pick. Not only wrestlers in the game, but you can also just pick kind of your style and it'll create one for you, and there's 8 or 9 for each style.
Oh yeah. Well,
like they have streamlined the process really fucking well.
Yeah, I haven't tried the latest WWE game, but like if it's like the streamline was certainly something that needs to do, because there's a certain plug and play aspect to it for wrestling games, and if you want to create a character, as Foxy said, you could get yourself into a rabbit hole and spend the entire day doing something, you know.
Oh, you could absolutely. You can go completely deep and change every individual thing, but you can also randomize. You can pick from a series of presets. But especially for when it comes to movesets, you can just pick your style. So there's like technical, brawler, high flyer, powerhouse, usuals. And then each one has a series of different presets you can select from. And then all you have to pick yourself are your signatures and finishers.
That's not bad actually. I'd be happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Those work, to be fair.
Yeah.
It should end between the two of us.
I hope you're not suggesting that we form some kind of alliance. Because I don't care which one of you I have to force to tap out tonight.
I'm not suggesting anything of the kind. I've said all I came to say.
Done.
Actually, there is one more thing. I hope you have no illusions that you will make me submit tonight.
Oh dear.
I was like, right, okay. That teaches me. So, that's one way to stop Benoit from tapping me out, by showering him in broken glass. This should go well. So this is a really weird stipulation, right? And again, not to criticize the good general manager Teddy Long here, but if you got a three-way feud like this, surely you wouldn't have the triple threat on the blow-off Smackdown. You'd have the triple threat on the pay-per-view. Yeah. And
so from what I gathered there is whoever loses this is out of No Mercy.
Yes.
And then the winner faces the person who wasn't part of the decision at No Mercy.
Yes.
Is a weird fucking move to begin with.
Yes.
So surely that just ends with the loser doing a run-in to cost the winner of the match to the person who wasn't involved in.
And if he wins, he
finish.
gets the
Yeah.
That stipulation only works if there's a title on the line.
Or number one contendership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be something at stake.
Work better.
But that being said, like would like even as a number one contenders match, like just do the triple threat. It's more interesting. There's a selling point too. It's like one of these three men is going to be the next world champion type of deal.
Make a number out of it.
Like don't bite your face. Like don't spite your nose. Like, you know.
Maybe not. I know the other two guys in this match don't see eye to eye. But if they decide to team up against him, it could be bad news for the Deadman.
Just a reminder that at this point, the Undertaker has already lost to Shelton Benjamin and Chris Benoit at this stage, so that point is completely pointless.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like it should probably just be a match at this point. But,
like, realistically speaking, Shelton Benjamin is the only person that should win this match, considering he's already beaten both men, and he hasn't been in SmackDown for the last 2 weeks.
I mean, shit, if you really wanted to drag it out, at No Mercy, you do Benoit versus Shelton, you have the lights go out. Lights come back on, Taker's knock both of them out. Then you do your triple threat the following month.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's like what should be Survivor Series, but they've done some fiddling about with the timeline here. So, yeah, in theory, yeah, it will be Survivor Series. Yes. The only other way I think, like logic-wise, would be that, like, say if whoever loses this match outright is just not booked on No Mercy and just doesn't get paid, which I think would be at least an incentive for this match. So it's like, just don't lose and you get your pay for next week.
I'm Michael Cole, here with Taz at ringside in San Diego.
Big shout out to all our great fans in the 619 area code here. I love San Diego, baby.
San Diego couldn't be more excited for Smackdown.
And I also would like have to laugh at, like, say, like, because we've been on SmackDown now for less than a month, and we're getting clean wins over 2 former world champions, and just whoever's like running the Raw side going, oh, we fucked that up, didn't we? It's like, why didn't we do that? That should have been something we'd done.
Was able to outlast their opponent.
Well, it looks like they're slowing the pace down a little bit here. That might not be such a good move, in my opinion.
Oh, come on. You just keep a high-risk maneuver in the works from that top turnbuckle.
Man, his opponent looked like a punk with that counter.
I feel like this is a smart strategy from Shelton Benjamin. Just take pot shots and be a mild inconvenience to the other 2 competitors.
One of them is going to have their hand raised at the end of this one.
And that's a real shame because, like you said, this has been a great match so far.
Well, what do you want, Cole? You want to say that everyone wins so nobody gets their feelings hurt?
I never said that. I'm just saying that in a great match like this, everyone involved deserves credit for it. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
No surprise there, Cole. The WWE fans ain't exactly known for keeping their opinions to themselves. He's going for the big one.
And that's an understatement. What a huge T-bone suplex. And here we go in the submission hold. This could be a pivotal moment in this match.
It sure could. There's a lot of pressure being applied in that hold, Cole. He dodged that bullet.
He's in control.
I wonder, will the Undertaker object to me pinning Benoit? No, he does. So again, the more I look at this match, I realize, oh god, this actually makes no sense, because they're trying to interrupt my kickouts. So why are you trying to save this opponent? Do you want to eliminate this person from the match at No Mercy? You should let the pinfalls happen.
Yeah. That makes much more sense.
Yeah. like I said, this game just didn't like the logic just didn't apply for this triple threat match, which also means that there's absolute mess then to play in.
I can see why it'd be difficult to program that.
Yeah, it is. You'd almost have to do it like it's a fatal 4-way and there's already been one person eliminated or something. That's the only way you'd make the conditions work.
Don't see action like this every day, Cole.
You sure don't, Taz. And we've got the best seats in the house.
No doubt, front and center. We couldn't be
In all fairness, Shelton's game plan right now is full. Stay outside the ring, just like the other two.
I'm perfectly happy staying right where I am.
Then
As
if
you're
you,
not, you're technically the winner.
yeah, that's exactly a good point. Like if you literally just like stay outside if you stay out in the middle of the ringside, you just take up commentary and let the two lads just destroy each other. Because again, they are automatically going to destroy each other to get rid of them. Like that is the smartest thing to do. Just not play.
Then one of them is out of the match, and the other is all fucked up.
Yeah. Jeez, Taylor really didn't think this through, did he? Like this is one of his, like, maybe he should stick to tag team matches. He clearly can't do triple threats. I think he gets the wrong idea with triple threats.
Or Teddy hasn't been the same since that car accident.
No, a lot of people have been saying it backstage, Jamie, and I think it's starting to show, isn't it? Starting to show.
He was one step ahead on that one.
Booker broken.
You saw that one coming.
Hey, the ref's got a tough job. I mean, trying to keep these superstars on the up and up, that's hard.
Well, it's easier to get some superstars to play by the rules than others.
And you know what, Cole? If you're going to get on your high horse again and give us another lecture about playing fair,
I do think it's hilarious though that you were watching this triple threat on Smackdown in October 2006. There's no doubt about who was eating the pinfall.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, like, again, with the added caveat that like whoever loses is not going to be on the pay-per-view. So it's like, so if this was to happen, it's like, oh, okay, what is going on here?
In fact, if you really wanted to build intrigue, surely doing it the other way around would have been better. Where whoever loses this match is out and the other two have a match, but the loser becomes the special referee for the match, would be the way to go.
That would be the way to go, exactly.
I do hate that about like these games, the fact that like in a triple threat, like the second opponent will just, no matter what, even if he's knocked out, boom, he's back up.
Yeah.
Because you're going for a pin.
That's something they have not sorted, because even now, to this day, in multi-man matches, having your pinfall interrupted is a nightmare. It can genuinely tag team matches as well.
It's just the quirk of the gameplay, isn't it? This is like the singles matches are like easy to control, easy to manage, whereas tag teams, fatal 4-ways, like anything like that, are just inherently longer because there's just so many more moving parts.
Yeah. If you make it an elimination match, it's okay because then they don't interrupt.
Yeah.
Which can just be much smoother. Yeah. Kind of like Shelton's buckshot German suplex there.
Wasn't that good?
No, solid shit. Undertaker eats the pin. Poor Taker is taking all the jobs.
To be fair, if again backstage, if he just wanted the night off at No Mercy, it's like, yeah, I'll eat the pin. Fuck it. I ain't traveling to where are we going? Minneapolis? Nah, fuck that. Again, as a finish there, I quite like that. Because Shelton could have been opportunist there. As you get it, buckshot German suplex. That knocks Benoit out. Taker's already out, so he gets to choose who to eliminate.
Storytelling creeping in.
It's trying its darnest, isn't it? Just like this game, or indeed this year, has had some really dumb premises, and we're just trying our best to make sense of them. It's like, apply some level of logic and sensibility to it, when really there is no place for it. And yeah, and when we come back, no mercy. Let's get it on.